What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
So, as designers, and in our office, we got a number of different designers. We run the risk of becoming overly familiar with our work, designing for ourselves and losing perspective of what our users see and experience. And I really do think that is a core. And we focus on conversion. Conversion is getting a visitor to your website to do what you want them to do. Tom, name me a conversion point.
Contact form, phone number.
Sarah, name me another conversion point.
Tom said contact form.
Yep.
Let's think.
Newsletter subscription.
Newsletter sign up.
Yes, like Doug on his website.
Oh,
yes.
Come on.
He has you sign up.
Yes. It's a beautiful thing.
That's a blatant abuse of power. That's what that is. If you go to marketingtechblog.com, you're going to see a massive graphic jump at you.
But it's producing results, right,
Absolutely
Doug? That's what
producing
you said.
results.
Stop it. Don't give him any.
Readership has
I know
not
it.
dropped. Everything's increasing. So
All right. Well, I mean, the thing is, these are all things you want them to do on your website, right?
Which is a lesson in and of itself, right?
Right.
Sometimes we don't like things on our website.
Exactly.
How many times do you hear a client say that? Well, I don't really like that.
It's not for you.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, preventing these bad habits isn't difficult. Using appropriate user experience research methods make us more connected designers and keep us focused on the end user. But you don't have to be a designer to actually go through some of the methods that we're going to be talking about here. We had a great article we came across from UX Booth. The author's name was Gina Yost. And it was really cool to be able to see what she actually did to test out graphic design elements, right? So, first thing you gotta ask yourself: Can you tell what your website is about? I mean, is it difficult to find items within the website? Are there too many links? Okay, we're talking about user saturation, and I mean, a user when a new user comes to your website, right? They need to know what you want them to do on the website. And if you're giving them so many options, so many places well, you could be over here, you could be over here, go over here, go check us out all over the place, right? That's noise. That's not guiding principles. That's get everything up, puke everything up on the page as quickly as possible, right? I saw one was I came across, actually, it was unfortunately somebody who was interviewing for a job here. Literally, they had about 100 to 200 links underneath, below the fold, in a big, huge footer of their website.
Wow.
Right? It was a monster, and I'm going, how in the world is that user-centric? How in the world can there be so many links, and you actually think that's good navigation?
Stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
We have a lot of links on Marketing Tech Blog, but we try to
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that.
organize them neatly and
Absolutely. On top of that, here's the other thing on Marketing Tech
But
Blog.
if you go to a single page,
Yep.
where the majority of people wind up,
I don't go to
there's
singles
not a lot.
pages. I'm
They're not.
married.
Thank you.
Now, here's what's the biggest thing, Doug, on your website is the search bar.
Yes.
Past that god-awful Matt ad. The search bar, whenever you go to Marketing Tech Blog, the thing that's prominent is a very, very large search bar, so you can type in what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And great, there's a great search engine behind it, so you can find all the relevant documents, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So it's not a breadcrumb of, look at all these different areas. It's about user-centric focus. Type something in. Find out what we're
Exactly.
talking. So
That's what we're after.
I mean, do you find yourself struggling to navigate your website? And this is what we're talking about. If you're having a tough time doing it and it's your website, if you can't find a particular page that's really important to you right off the bat, guess what's happening with your users? You can you anticipate user expectations for your website? I mean, this is where you have to really get yourself out of the mindset that you're writing for you. You're writing for you're writing and you're designing for your user, and they may very well have different expectations.
Everything, different motivations,
Yep.
different expectations,
Yep.
different design appreciation. Everything is totally different.
And to find out that, do you even know who would use the website? Right. So setting up personas and having a bit of a focus group mentality and asking questions, and we've talked about this before, of your sales team, of your customer service team, and putting together a bit of a grid of sorts of understanding who's actually using your website, right? So there's a couple of steps that you need to do. You need to go through a content audit. You need to go through, and here's a technique that they offered up in this article, card sorting, and we'll cover that in a second. Heuristic markup, comparative assessment, article understanding and rough drafts, personas, and final article revisions. All those different things are what you can go through. But let's just talk about content audits for a second. You need to get a better understanding of what content and capabilities your user has access to and how the content is actually structured. Okay, so many, and I think this actually goes into the website owner's mindset beyond even the designer. You need to know how your users are consuming your content. Okay, I mean, included in the links that direct people to different users. Here's what we're doing at Site Strategics. We're not doing a sitemap, Doug. We're not actually doing an inventory of all the different pages. That's one inventory. We're actually doing a user flow diagram.
Love it.
Okay. And if a page, I mean, we have to know those pages and have to have an inventory of those pages. But if we're not guiding users to the particular point of conversion, or if we have too many places to go before a conversion happens, right? This is the map that actually shows us what's happening. We're also doing consistency checks across sites, whether or not it's the same level of understanding of a conversion. We'll be talking about call to actions here in a little bit, but do you have a button over here in one area of the website and something else completely different in another area of the website, and they're both doing the same thing? Well, isn't a user going to get confused if they've seen one thing over here? I mean, you have to understand there's seconds of absorption of the user experience before people leave. I mean, we talked about this the other day, another show. You got 2 seconds to actually capture somebody's attention, right? And if you are creating too many different types of buttons to get to the same goal, or it's too many different areas to get to that are not similar in nature, right? You're going to have dissonance. You're going to have people that don't understand what you want them to do. So this open card sorting technique was really cool, actually. She recorded each area of content on a separate 3x5 card. This is very, very technical. So the concept of the content and put it on a 3x5 card, and then she asked participants, like staff members, to sort the cards into groups where they felt were more appropriate. So she took and broke apart the entire site structure navigation.
She crowdsourced it.
And threw it all together and asked them to actually reorganize based on what they thought, right? I mean, it's a simple exercise that's reliable and inexpensive, okay, for finding patterns in how users expect to find content. So they're actually looking at what they think would be the outcome. How often do you design that way?
That's probably a lot better than having like duplicate links in site navigation. Huh?
Yeah.
A little bit.
It would be.
We're talking about that outside the show. Really? About a customer that wanted like one page listed all across different navigation elements.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thanks there for that. The goal is to see the user's mindset.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to say,
get back on the bus.
It gets really busy.
It does. Get busy.
Simplify.
You need to satisfy users' expectations.
Yes.
You got to first understand users' expectations, right? And are you the user? No. You need to find out. You need to figure out what their mindset is. So you certainly need to create personas. But I mean, now that you're aware of how users are actually experiencing specific areas of the site, you need to see how those areas can be improved. Conducting a comparative assessment of a website to see the standards and best practices that users will likely expect is not just inside your website. You need to look outwardly to different sites of comparable nature, so you can get an idea of where they're going, because a user's experience of a pursuit of a solution, pursuit of a need, right, it's not isolated to your website. You are in context with other sites that they've already come to. So if you see something that is going on another competitor's website, right, you have to understand that your users are being trained by them as well.
Yep.
So not having that knowledge is you're robbing yourself of potential easy wins on the design side of things. Setting up a series of proto-personas, which are not really deep personas, demographic information, but understanding age, life stage, what their motivators are, and why they even use the website. Setting that up and passing that through a filter of content will give you, an understanding of whether or not this is truly user-centric designed. All right, so getting started, you need to create a project plan to actually keep all of your designers focusing and on track of what you're trying to accomplish, right? You need to choose a different type of method. So the card one would be great. Maybe the user flight plan, the user flow through the website. And you need to keep a user-focused mindset. Each research method that you actually bring up, and there's thousands of research methods, and there's thousands of ways to test a website. And it could be a combination of different methods, but they do build on each other and ultimately making a stronger connection between the designer and the user. Quick tools to actually use, and I'm going to give you a few of these that we use in our own shop. Glyphy is a great online web it's a workflow diagramming tool, right? But we use it for site mapping. It's a great way to communicate between different designers and programmers to be able to see and move things around based on what you're needing. Crazy Egg is a great tool to actually see interactivity testing and be able to see where people actually click, because what you may think they're clicking on, it ain't that, right? So it gives us a heat map to understand what, in fact, they're actually interacting with, and even testing and trying out different types of pages and what's going to work the best for conversion flow. Optimizely is a great tool, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's the run-through of user-focused and purpose-focused design, and there's so much more that you can check out. Go to edgeofthewebradio.com. You can see all the links that we have about user experience. But, hey, we're going to stop there and pivot around and